Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to break down a quick team's preparation in terms of Shadow King and his return tomorrow. His event is going to be fully live again, and it's only been over a month, but this is definitely a legendary character that you want to be getting your hands on just because of the fact that, my goodness, he's a very, very good legendary. I think everyone has forgotten, obviously, comparing him to Old Man Logan, it's not even close, but it doesn't mean Shadow King's not a good legendary. He's still one of the best in the game because of some of the unique mechanics he has. Highly, highly recommend you guys take advantage, especially once Battle World does return with this team. They're going to be formidable, and we don't know yet how this is going to be gated in future content, as usually the teams that we build up are required for some future event in the future. So, a couple of things just to kind of go through in case you guys aren't aware of Shadow King and his kit. Remember, he is actually the only character in the game that can remove trauma, if I'm not mistaken right now. So, this applies to himself and the team, hence why his ultimate is such a, impressive ability. And also, he has a unique mechanic of spawning and gaining this possession, where the possession essentially allows for the additional attacks, and additional buffs and support for capabilities here, especially when the possessed character can get additional, speed meter, clearing negatives, and so forth. So just be mindful of that. It's a really cool mechanic, and obviously you see more of this pronounced in Battle World, but he can still use it outside of that game mode. So just something to be mindful of there. So remember, with the Shadow King trials, there are going to be 10 nodes that you go through, and I'm going to show you all the teams that I use to get through the 10 nodes respectively. And I think honestly the big two for sure is going to be Illuminati and obviously the Annihilator characters. Those are going to be the two meta ones, right? And sorry, I do have my team saved up here, hence why I'm actually in the arena. But let me show you real quickly here what those teams are going to be like and kind of the node breakthrough, right? The first node is unrestricted. So personally for myself, I actually used my Extreme X-Men team that you see on the very first row here with my Extreme. Most of them were previously already brought into Dark Dimension 7, Dark Dimension 8, so it was just nice value. If you have Old Man Logan, he can one-shot it, but this is by no means a best in-slot team. It's more so just a team I use for automatic. Node 1's easy. You can throw in honestly any team, or you can actually prepare any of the future teams that we're going to be talking about. Node 2 is Illuminati. Whoops, I mixed up the order. That's supposed to be Annihilators there. Node 2 is Illuminati. So for myself, when I was going through it, I capitalized on Captain Britain, having the synergies there with the rest of his team. I felt like Black Panther Shuri and Hank Pym for sure had the best value in terms of what they brought. Hence, those three characters were brought up to the max there at Gear Tier 19. Now, having said that, if you guys are not doing this at difficulty 15 with all packs activated, you don't have to have all these characters built up as high, but I'm just showing you here what got the job done at difficulty 15 with all the packs activated. So you don't need every single character at Gear Tier 19, but it does help, and obviously that made it even easier for ourselves. Now we go back to the third node here. It is Global Villain. I really, really like Global Villain because it's definitely one of the easiest kind of trait restrictions in the game, because you can use a synergistic team like Cabal. And keep in mind, we do get Crucible bonuses for the Shadow King trials. So characters like, Namor, Iron Patriot with Leader getting their Crucible bonuses. Plus meta characters like Lady Deathstrike. And Apocalypse was honestly a slotting character. He didn't really do much. You can, bring in some other strong global villain characters. But this is kind of what got done for me. You could auto this node, and as well as I believe it's Node 7 is the second node for this. So the Global Villain was by far the easiest section because of the synergies there. What gets interesting is the Brawler non-mythic. It wasn't too difficult, but a setup was important. And what I noted that in my run through, and again guys, I'll have all my guides and gameplay that I did before below in case if you guys want to see this beforehand, but you actually start off the node. I believe this was the one that had like 1,000,000 sentinels. So what really helped for this was having a character like Nightcrawler. Because I brought him into the first node, I could actually save his ultimate, and you can do a turn 1 ultimate by flipping all of the taunts and whatnot turn 1. So that's really, really important because Nightcrawler will likely get the first turn. And then you just synergize what you have used in the rest of the other nodes, right? We have Lady Deathstrike that was already previously used from the prior node. I had some pretty endgame characters in Vulture, Thanos Endgame, and Val being brought up. up. I really like them because obviously both Val and Nightcrawler actually being able to cast exposure allows Thanos Endgame to generate energy for mystic characters in this case. So it was just nice to have that additional benefit there. Is it necessary? No. But what was really quality of life was having Nightcrawler in that turn 1. So just be mindful of there. Node 5. Node 9 both require either Mercenary or Undying. For myself, I just brought in my Mercs team. If you guys care about war, this is the no-brainer. I mean, hands down, they're just great survivability. You have Old Man Logan leading the charge, and some of these characters just keep coming back alive, which is absolutely amazing for that node. So that's Node 5. Node 9, I believe. We didn't have any issues whatsoever for that. And then finally, we actually go to Node 6 for the gameplay, which is the Annihilators. The Annihilators, you're likely going to have 2 or 3 members of them already up in your arena meta, especially Thanos Endgame and Gladiator, so definitely take advantage of value there. But as you can see, my Silver Surfer just remained at gear tier 17. Ultimus was at gear tier 18, but really, you don't need this full team at gear tier 19 because you probably will need at least some sort of mixed team for the final node, which in my opinion was one of the harder sections, especially when you're up against that Odin. We finished things up here with the Annihilator node, then it's back to Global Villain, which is what I noted earlier. This Cabal plus Apocalypse with Lady Deathstrike, super easy. Then it's back to Brawler, this exact same team I used with Nightcrawler once again, Lady Deathstrike, Val, Thanos Endgame, easy. And then again, back to Mercs for money. And then lastly, I would say it got interesting. The final node, I believe from, people just playing and experiences, testimonies and whatnot, you could one-shot it with the Illuminati team. I can't say that I tried, to be honest, because what I did is I brought in my Annihilators first to kind of soften the blow, to weaken and utilize some of Odin's abilities. And then I brought in my Illuminati team, which did the finishing job and cleaned up. And that's how I was able to capitalize and take advantage of the Shadow King, guys. So that's my run through. Those are all my teams here that I used and the upgrades respectively that you can see. But yeah, that was for difficulty 15. If you guys are looking for lower levels, remember you can do that as well. But difficulty 15 is where we had a chance to get the highest yellow stars of Shadow King, because especially if you have 6 stars in the Illuminati Annihilator, that would have presented the opportunity. So hopefully this is helpful, guys. In the meantime, I'm going to link all my videos below that I've made already previously. This doesn't make sense for me to regurgitate that, but I'll have it below if you guys need a guide. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this helps you guys prepare. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.